Yep.
I don't have to
I
this
can
button
get
like
that
I think
six.
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I think we need to look at it.
Oh,
It is.
do you want to go
It's
with
not even a good one.
Gregory's not your full name?
if you have a second DUI and extra
There we go.
years, it's a felony.
It's like it's 11 o'clock. We'll call to order the Board of Public Works and Safety meeting for September the 12th, 2024. Welcome, everybody. Thank you for being here, all of our employees, all of the board members. Good to see the press today. Hope you're doing well. Awesome. Okay, has everybody had a chance to review the minutes of the previous meeting? If so, I'll entertain any motions related to.
I'll make a motion to accept the minutes as presented.
And I'll second.
Have a motion and a second. All those in favor signify with aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. Motion carries. No public hearing, no old business. Jump straight into our new business. Special request for the farmer's market lot. Sorry, I am having a technical issue. I think we got it. Okay. Farmer's market lot, the farmer's market would like to extend through October. That'd be Wednesdays and Saturdays. Wednesdays are 9 to noon. Saturdays are 9 to noon. From October 2nd through October the 30th. The only dilemma that I see so far is October 2nd is Oktoberfest. I don't see how you put both in one facility. Is January floating around out there?
What? She said it's fine. You're so.
It's fine, okay. Just making sure.
So
Opinions.
did it originally end in September then?
Normally ends at the end of September, which was their request, has been their request for several years. Now they would like to go a month longer. But again, Oktoberfest being the only thing I see as a problem. Because that does.
During that parade.
Yeah, parking, I mean, because they go from 9 to noon. Fest opens at 11, and you got a parade at 1:30. Just all the pieces, I think trying to do a farmer's market on top of it would be a extra headache.
Other than that, the rest of the month is fine. I don't see a problem with that, right?
Yeah, I agree.
I mean, if they're okay with just not having it that weekend, then we'll make a stipulation that they can operate through the rest of October, barring the weekend for the Oktoberfest.
I'd second that motion.
Yeah, I mean, I just threw it out there, but I
Yeah.
mean, I'll make that in the form of
No,
a
I
motion.
agree. I'll second that.
So I have a motion and a second to approve dates other than October 2nd and October 5th. All those in favor signify with aye.
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 Aye. All those opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Jane, I marked out the 2 dates for you.
And I already told her that those dates would not be allowed, so.
Look at you, being ahead of the curve. Next up, we got a safety action plan for the City of Seymour, Lockmuller Group. Anybody here to talk about that one? Bernie, you talking about this? Jane?
No, I thought you would.
Okay. So, what we've got is we had proposals that are RFPs that went out. We were awarded a Safe Streets for All grant almost a year ago. We posted an RFP. We got 0 responses. So then we went back through. Lockmuller came in finally with a plan and a proposal, or not a plan, but a proposal. And Jane, you are looking for approval for them to do the work, right?
Yes.
Okay. There's some examples in this one with a little bit of pre-work on City of Seymour as well, if anybody wants to see it. But again, this is a Safe Streets for All grant that we were awarded almost a year ago. We've worked with Woody he's not from NDOT, he's from the federal side, right?
Yes.
So we just need to approve using Lockmuller as our consultant on this one.
Have we used them before?
Probably at some point. Recently, I can't think of any. Like in my time, I can't think of any, but I'm sure we have.
The name sounds familiar for some.
I'm like you, I can't put a finger on it,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
that name sounds familiar. But
If that's what's needed to continue with the stuff we're wanting to do, I see no reason not to do it. I'll make that a motion to approve it.
I'll second.
Motion and a second. All those in favor signify with aye.
Aye.
Aye. All those opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Eric?
Does the grant cover their entire cost?
I don't remember. I'll say that loud. I don't remember.
Okay.
Cause I don't remember if that was 100% grant or it did require some match off the top of my head, so. I know they did help us write it on the front end originally, so. Next up, Eric Roll, Fire Chief, has his white shirt on. Let's see what he's got to say today.
Just asking the board for the okay for our date that we have set for the official merit board vote. And that date will be September 26th at 0700.
You have to get everybody together at the same time to do that. is
Yep,
what-
it's only a one-time deal. Correct, Chris?
Yes, sir. Yeah, the way the state code's written, it indicates a single meeting where active duty, full-time, members of the department can attend.
And at that date, we're also gonna go ahead and hold our annual pension board meeting for officers for next year, 2025, so.
Make a motion to approve that if you need a motion from this group.
Yep.
I'll second.
Approval.
Motion and second to approve the merit board vote for the fire department. All those in favor signify with aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. Congratulations, Eric. We did that last meeting for the police also, right?
Yes.
Okay, so both of them are done. Next up, Bernie Hausberger, city engineer. He's got change orders on the southeast sewer project. Dun, dun, dun.
He's always in a white shirt.
Yeah, that's true.
Good morning.
Morning.
Step right
Lots of
up.
fun here. Let's start with change orders then. If you pull out this sheet that's yellow, I think I gave it to the board members only. It basically shows, I'm gonna go over each one of these change orders. We have a jack and bore extension. This was under I-65. We had a creek elevation that came in a little lower than we expected. I know it's hard to imagine that we missed that, but it made sense for us to go ahead and bore another 104 feet to get through that creek and then eliminate any environmental issues that we could have in a bore that wasn't deep enough. So that was a $65,000 change order. Then this is then trying to save some money back to the owner. We had a credit for a 4-inch force main that was a direct bury, that instead of putting aggregate backfill in, we found out that we had very good soil in that area, so we just went ahead and left the aggregate out and saved $11,143. And similarly with compaction testing, this goes over to the Snide Acre area. We used a number 8 stone to backfill all the way up to the top of the roadway, and that saved $10,000. And then since we use number 8 stone, that doesn't have we can't really compaction test that, so that saved the $10,000 in the compaction testing. Then the fourth one is another add. This is Arthur Properties laterals, where we thought we had an agreement with Arthur that was cut and dried, but I didn't understand what they wanted exactly, evidently. So there's 2 issues there. The first issue is with the contractor. We had to add an extra, just a 45-degree angle coming out of this, the first part of the lateral, which added $6,800 to the bid, but it's not our SRF fundable. So SRF is the loan owners of this change of the project. Then so that'll come 100% out of the city funds. Then the flow meter delete was number 5 on Snide Acres again. We had a mag meter set up for that to show flows, but since that's a minor lift station, we went ahead and deleted that to save some money. Then on number 6 is Snide Acres force main relocate. Again, we had a force main that was located in the road, so we found out that it was the contractor brought this back, that they could save about $3,000 if we moved it off to the side and kept it out of pavement. which is, to me, a good thing no matter what. If we can keep it out of pavement, we should do that, so. Total, we're looking at a $43,000 change order, as noted on that sheet, and each one of these is shown in detail in the, in your plan set there. If you want to go over each one of these, I could get into some additional information on each one of them. But in short, it's about a 0.8% increase on the total project cost. I don't like any change orders, but it's just where we are. Questions?
Oversights or just,
The negotiation thing with Arthur, I wrote down what I thought he meant, and then he wanted laterals across. He thought the laterals were going to go all the way across his new roadway that wasn't installed yet. So I assumed that he just wanted some place to connect his homes to. And he thought we meant laterals all the way to, another 40, 50 feet from our main. And I thought the intent was always just to get it off of our, away from our main, so he wouldn't bother our construction. So, I mean, he's asking for a refund too, which is a letter in your package there, separate from this change order. Then as far as the other change was for the interstate bore, I'm not sure what happened there, but the survey just came out about a foot shorter than what we. There is a lot of sand in there. I mean, it rains a lot. We could have had some change in creek elevation, but this made the most sense to get us away from environmental issues for that area.
Are these from funds that's already in place for these projects?
The
Comes out of sewer fund?
the SRF has approved these 6 items, except they will not pay for the non-SRF item number 4. So that has to go back into. We'll probably have to put another amount of money in the escrow account that's set up for the other funding. And they want us to approve it first before they can officially approve it.
So 5 of your 6 are SRF, will be SRF approved, and then
Those will go into the loan amount.
yeah, okay. What other questions? What's the will?
Sounds like it's stuff that has to be done to make the projects work.
I mean, I get it, I don't like it, but I get it.
Let's say
I mean, it's just, the $6,800 with Arthur's, I mean, a misunderstanding, just seems like, I don't know what I can do about it now. I mean, was that the total on the end there, Bernie? Was it end up being 43,193?
Correct.
Okay.
That includes getting some of the money back,
yeah.
the credits.
Right. We tried to look through it and do some value engineering again, make sure we didn't do anything extra at this point. And there'll be more change orders down the road. I hate to say that, but that's part
It's a
of it.
major project, so.
Yeah. It's, you may be used to dealing with that, but I mean, to me, I know that's a small percentage on the overall thing of the project, but still, that's, you start throwing out those kind of numbers, I mean, it adds up real quick.
No, $10 is a big deal, so
Bernie?
that's a bigger deal.
Like on number 4, per agreement with Arthur, lateral installation needed additional work to be brought to completion according to the agreement with Arthur's. So the city's paying an extra $6,800 for that, but he wants a refund of $38,000 because we didn't do it. So which is it?
Yeah, on the plans, I just had stubs coming up. And he thought that we were going to do the entire lateral in his, he gave us $112,600.
I'll say, he
Arthur
paid
did.
for,
So he felt like he wasn't getting what he paid for. And so through negotiations, we started with what we came up, we thought maybe $25,000 would be good as a refund back to him, but he wanted more. So we came up with $38,000. That was the agreed amount from this, back from the $112,600. So that's the next item coming up after this. But then he expected a 45-degree angle and stone backfill that we did not have in the plans from the original alignment of the sewer. So the extra 45 and number 8 stone was asked from the contractor to do, I'm sorry, not number 8 stone, just the extra stone backfill, and that came out to the extra $6,800.
and that's what you guys have agreed upon then, I guess?
This is with the contractor on this item.
Bernie, I have a question for you. Once you completed your plans and submitted them to Arthur or the contractor, what was their review process and when did they approve that?
That was before the project started. We had plans going to Arthur, but again, he was looking at, we did have an agreement that said that we would provide laterals. The definition of lateral was not clear. And we put on our plan sheet the city standard for laterals, which showed it going out to like a right-of-way area. So that's what kind of got the confusion started, where they saw it on our plans as going all the way across in a city detail that we just copied in. But in the plans itself, it said to shorten them to only go this amount, to only go 5 feet up, down from the ground. So that's where the contractor took that as, of course, the contractor's looking for the cheapest way out, so they put the price just for short laterals.
Okay. Thank you.
Other questions?
What's a mag meter?
It's a magnetic meter that detects how much sewage is flowing through the pipe. And it's not got any internal components. It just wraps around the pipe. And it uses Doppler radar to figure out how much flow is going through it. Okay, I got some yeses there.
Just interested.
He looked at the experts to make sure he said it right.
Man, I don't get into the middle of those things like you do, like these guys do.
Sounded pretty complicated. I just want to know what it was.
Oh, what's the will?
Are you okay with this, Bernie?
Well, yeah, I basically have approved them already, but I had to get the.
I mean, you deal with this every day. I mean, that's, again, I'm going back to where that's a big number to me. And,
Oh, yeah. Well, we did.
In the scope of everything, I get it, but I mean, that's still, I wanted to ask the question if you're okay with it. So apparently you,
And we can probably expect more, do you think, at some point?
yeah, there are going to be, you know, changes as we get into, we're still underground, so we never know what we're gonna hit, so. Hopefully no mastodons, is that what the last one hit? I think.
Yeah, that was the Interceptor project.
I don't think we're gonna hit anything that big at this point, so.
We're not getting anything at all, right?
Whatever we hit, it'll be smaller than a mastodon.
I'll make a motion to accept the change order.
I'll second it.
Motion and a second to accept the change order. All those in favor signify with aye.
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 All those opposed, same sign. Motion carries.
All right.
Bernie, you know how much
Thank
I love change orders anyway, so do your best to not bring more back.
I'm trying. Well, man, if I can get a negative change order back to you guys, I'll bring it in a second. So. All right, then, thought I'd give you a quick update. Well, do I need to go over the Arthur refund? Is that are you kind of approving that at the same, is that approved here the last? We had change orders 1 through 6, and then now I have to give Kevin his, a refund back.
So ultimately, Kevin paid on the front end, since the ground was going to be dug up already to install the laterals. The variation there would be what Bernie's opinion of what a lateral is and what Kevin's was, did not match. So now Kevin would like part of his money back.
So he gets the refund plus whatever it was in here.
That's just the contractor. Or
Oh, okay.
that's Mac Construction.
Okay, okay.
And then now we're trying to make sure we can get through, keep the easement that we have, we're trying to get through the Arthur property.
So I assume you feel like that's the correct way to do it?
That was, I mean, they were talking about shutting the project down and not letting us through. So this was the solution that allowed us to keep the project going through his property.
The Arthurs were talking about just shutting it.
Yeah, Arthur, yeah.
But they originally paid the 112,600, right?
Correct.
Okay.
So we've got 112,600 for the laterals that Mac is doing. They thought they were getting more than what Mac was doing, just a short. See, gets confusing. It's very expensive to do the connection point for a lateral to a main of this size. We're using a 12-inch main. Most people are used to 8-inch mains, and just that connection port is considerably more money.
Just a gasketed 90 connection for a 12-inch was $1,000 8 years ago. Just a piece of plastic, not counting any work.
So anyhow, the cost was, he thought he was getting the entire laterals, and like I said, we're just trying to get them up to the surface to some degree.
He'll have to go back through as he builds and install more lateral than what he thought he would.
Got you. Okay.
To try to phrase it this way, Bernie thought he was giving them an inch and they thought they were taking a mile, so.
That makes a little more sense. It's what they've already paid and we're giving them back because okay. You want this in the form of a motion also?
Yeah, if you don't mind.
Okay. I'll make a motion to allow the refund of $38,000 to Arthur's.
Second.
Motion and a second on the refund. All those in favor signify with aye.
Aye.
Aye. All those opposed, same sign. Motion carries. What other great news you got for us, Bernie?
All right, but well, first of all, I thought I'd go over the transfer station. We have that out for bid right now.
Okay.
So that should be coming back in at the next meeting. So you should have at least bids to review for that project. I don't have a lot of information on the Second Street project of what you already know. It's, as far as I know, there's still delays. We have a meeting today at 2:00, so it's just it's really not in construction yet. It's still in delays from utilities being relocated. So as soon as we get the utilities ready, out of the way, then you'll see more damage to the roadway, or it'll look awful with the new storm sewer coming in. But then that's all to help the future of Second Street.
Sorry, Bertie, is that a typical delay with the relocating of the utilities and stuff? Is that?
Yeah, that's typical delays, but it's not for this. This is a length of, I mean, it should have been started in May. So here we are, losing a pretty good portion of the construction season. So we'll see what the contractor comes back with.
If I can add to that, we did have, one contractor that came through once they got their approval from us to go ahead and do the work. They actually came out when they were supposed to and actually took care of it. We've got others that, we've got Duke. They had 2 power poles left to change out, and change their lines over to them. Basically 4 poles, once the other 2 are set. That's a power grid, but they're in with Duke. We had a line to come down the new pole and a box to set for Comcast, for a Comcast box. And then we're also working through a box that goes at the Second and Community to power the stoplights. We're going to get that in place and power Randiz soon. But not until those poles are done by Duke can the rest of the overhead be done. So one holds up another.
Okay.
But everything up to those last 4 poles are overhead. Everything in the ground for Frontier is done, other than, well, I say that, the boxes are in, and they're in the ground. We're waiting on Duke to be able to pull the new line through for Frontier. They've got the big old roll there ready to go, but it's getting Duke through it. And we will know, like you said, we'll know more tomorrow's meeting, because we're having one after as well.
And I think with Duke, we've seen delays before with Duke.
Yeah,
So I
with
mean,
the hurricane
that's
coming
nothing
through, too.
new, but still.
We did have a couple, there will be something coming about a force main soon that wasn't on
I
the
do need to add
design.
something to that, Chad, that I should note today what date and time next week where Station 2 is going to be out of power for anywhere from 6 to 12 hours. That'll be next week. I'm trying to work with the crew that lives there that day and find out what's going to be the best time, because they said they would work around our schedules.
Well, to give you an idea, on Monday, they'll be at Brooklyn Pizza. They're shut down on Monday. They'll be hitting there, and then they head west.
Yep.
So.
Okay. Any other questions?
No.
Okay, thanks, guys. Bernie, was that it? Do you have anything else?
I better mention 4th and O'Brien. I thought it would be open sooner. I'm trying to, in my mind, I want it to be open, but that just doesn't work. We still have, we had a delay from a design issue that the designer came back and adjusted designs, and now we're finally back on schedule with this wall that has caused a lot of grief here, a lot of multiple weeks of delays. So we're back in business coming Monday with wall finishing, and then we'll be at paving, and O'Mara wants it done, but this is a sub-consultant kind of thing, and then with our design being the issue, we can't really get liquidated damages. So I think people have asked me, why don't we force them to get the project done or charge them liquidated damages? Well, it kind of falls on us where, since our design kind of caused the problem, and they have to remobilize people to get things done, and it's the schedules just get kind of blown apart at this point. So anyhow, we're still looking for trying to have this project open by the end of September is my best guess.
I'll go on public record here to say this. Chris, look into liquidated damages from the designer on this, because I'm over it. What else you got, Bernie?
CCMG project for 24 has started in we thought it was going to be a slow pace, but all of a sudden crews showed up this week on Vestlage, and they wanted to jump into it and get concrete work done. So they've actually are pouring concrete on new curb and sidewalk on Vestlage Road today. And we hope that they continue to Bateman and then eventually to Shields now this year. So they were originally looking at just 2 roads this year, and now they're up to 3. So we'll see where they end up.
Bernie, who'd you say is doing that?
O'Mara Construction.
Out of calls.
Okay. Then going down to nothing else. That was, you already went over. That's all I got.
Thanks, Bernie.
Any questions? Thanks. Jeremy, do you want to add anything else?
No, you covered it well.
Mr. Bose, you got anything today?
Couple sewer adjustments. Ronald L. Blevins, 576 Vestlage Road. Concrete guys tore up his water. No.
They just started yesterday.
That's next month.
Incorrect read on the old meter. Indiana American Water replaced his meter. Looking for a credit of $294.29. Michael Cogdill, 324 South Chestnut Street. Water pipe in the basement cracked. Water drained in the yard through drain for the resident. It was since been repaired. Looking for a credit of $87.84. Brandon Hubbard, Michael Steele's the actual owner of the property, 703 South Vine Street. Pool fill, back at the end of May, then they moved out. Took a while to get a new reading. We've been experiencing quite a few estimates by Indiana American Water on water readings, so it's taken a little longer to get some averages back to know what their average is going to be. Kyle Madera, 730 East 5th Street, 2 units A and B. Water nozzle broke off and the water went in the ground after landlord capped the spigot. Read through this one, and the landlord had capped it. The residents opened it back up and left it on. He's looking for a credit of $104.31.
Okay.
Greta Lovepreet, 1707 Belford Drive West. Backyard, lady left the hose on a couple days. They're looking for a credit of $65.88. Jesus Zunga, 336 Highland Avenue. Pipe broken in crawl space. Looking for a credit of $272.58. Jesus again, this is 337 Highland Lawn. Water spigot was left on while on vacation. Looking for a credit of $258.03. I think we might need to adjust the ordinance for stupidity. We don't give credit for stupidity. Freeman Field Aerial Farmer, 1155A Avenue. Typical irrigation, not irrigation, but crop dusting. Looking for a credit of $112.41. Bill Nelson, 671 East Drive. Water leak in the front yard. See attached. He's looking for a credit of $626.16. Matlock did the repair. There's the invoice for that. Katrina Nicholas Baltazar, pipe under the parking lot. Let go. Looking for a credit of $488.61. City of Seymour Fire Department, Station 1, 318 East Street. Is that all fixed now?
Yes.
Yes, okay. So I figured it was, but obviously they had a leak for quite a while and finally got everything taken care of. We're looking for a credit of $885.12. Megan Kinsey, B1 Rentals, leak in the basement, sump pump, put it out into the yard. Looking for a credit of $174.93. Barb recommended we pull the one on Paul Bowes because they're still estimating his usage. Raul Samkar, I'm not sure. 3536 St. Andrew's Place, water company, estimated high, read actual meter, above average on over 3 months. Gave a 3-month back credit for irrigation and watering, looking for a credit of $732.47. Kenny Robertson, Isaiah Johnson is the renter, 2 water line breaks underground, looking for a credit of $431.34. Martin Pedro Hernandez, water pipe burst under the house, fixed 7/12. Looking for a credit of $137.19. You can send a picture of the pipe if I want to see a picture of the pipe. Jerry Shannon Allman, 101 Meadowlark Drive, watering lawn, started mid-June 2024, looking for a credit of $60.39. Aaron Rohert, 505 South Beach Street, outside spigot leak for 2 of their units, fixed 8/7, credit of $54.70. One of your little stickers got. Michelle Holt, pool fill, July 25th, victim of water company estimation, looking for a credit of $181.17. I think that was the one that wasn't on your original list. It came in late, so. They all meet our criteria. I know it's a lot, but
You said pull the one from Paul Bose, though?
yes, it's, we're not doing that one right now.
Okay. Questions?
Motion to approve.
Second.
Have a motion and a second. All those in favor signify with aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Congratulations. Anything else, Mr. Bose?
That's all I have.
Okay. Next up, I got some miscellaneous business. Shockies, food truck. These guys are based out of Bologna. They sell barbecue fish, chicken tenderloins, and canned soda pop. Looks like this is a renewal. Everything is checked off according to Miss Melissa. Any questions?
Any complaints?
Not
Nope.
that I'm aware of. Anybody? Not that I'm seeing heads shake in the back. So.
With that being the case, I'll allow the renewal.
Second.
Motion and a second to renew Shockies. All those in favor signify with aye.
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 Aye. All those opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Next up, we got Spud Bank, Miss Lakin Eubank. These guys would like to set up at the farmer's market from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. on October 17th, 24th, and the 31st. Spud Bank has been here before. They've had a license for a while. And I'm not aware of any complaints.
I remember. Motion to approve the request.
Second.
Motion and a second to approve Spud Bank. All those in favor signify with aye.
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 Motion carries. Next up, ribbons on downtown trees. Seymour Young Marines, directed by Mr. Sean Riley and company, would like to put out ribbons around the downtown trees from October 23rd, give or take, probably kick it off around the 19th, through the 31st. This will be the third year they've done it. I believe the second year they've sought approval to do it. I think year one they didn't realize they needed approval. So, but good drug education type piece to remind people that there are options out there.
Great group too.
So,
I'm sorry?
Said they're a great group
Yeah.
too.
yeah, Young Marines are doing a lot of work in the community. So they would like to do Red Ribbon Week and put some ribbons around the downtown trees.
I'll make a motion to allow them to put the ribbons around the trees.
I'll second it.
Motion and a second to approve downtown tree ribbons. All those in favor signify with aye.
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 They yellow ribbons,
Red ribbons. Red Ribbon Week.
that's all, yellow.
You're
You're
dating
old.
yourself, Jeremy.
Yellow ribbons
may not
are
have been
typically
born
for
then.
military members that are on active duty, I believe. Jeremy, don't hold me to that. I don't think the yellow are for lost. Next up, just a couple of reminder things of different stuff that came in between time that they were in a big hurry and couldn't wait for this meeting. The Memorial Walk for International Overdose Awareness Day. We did go back and forth several times to help make that a reality. Originally, they wanted to cross the railroad tracks in the middle of the tracks. We got all that solved, so that will need a signature after it had received approval already.
What's the date on that?
That event was on 8/31. Next up, we have Okay, that handwriting is tough. Construction and interior demolition for Little Birdies / High Day Property Group. Back down working on 212 West 2nd Street. This was so they could put out some cones, some tape, construct caution tape, and move a dumpster around. So this one went out on August the 28th, I believe. Is that one still there, Jeremy? Okay. Sorry, in my head I was trying to remember if it was or not. Again, just signatures. These are just being read in so that you're aware of them. Next up, we had a ribbon cutting for Traveling Tom's Coffee. This was a Chamber of Commerce event at the Farmers Market lot from 9 to 11 a.m. Traveling Tom's, if you remember, we did approve their application last meeting. So that happened on September the 3rd. Sorry, my brain stopped. And I think this is the last one. Next up, we had food trucks related to the studio grand opening / 1 year anniversary for the studio Unleashed, the Green, did I say Haven?
Green Haven, yes.
Okay, Haven. Yep, there's a whole bunch more words on here, and I'm going to try to read them. But there were some food trucks that wanted to operate in the parking spaces during that grand opening. We gave them approval as well. That event, Darren, happened on September the 6th. So there you go. I have... No, he's not done yet. I'm just appreciating your ringtone being something fun. Any other miscellaneous from Board of Works? Miscellaneous from the audience. Mr. O'Brien.
Chief Greg O'Brien, Seymour Police Department. Wanted to give you a little bit of update. For 3 days, August 23rd, September 3rd, and September 6th, we brought in additional officers for vehicle speed enforcement. We were getting a lot of complaints on Burkhardt South and in front of Reading School. Officers worked a total of about 17 hours. We conducted 339 traffic stops for speeding, issued 49 tickets, and an additional 340 warnings. I know that that's more than the traffic stops, but sometimes people get a ticket and a warning or whatever, and they also arrested 14 people. So, the overtime that was paid for the officers will be reimbursed by the state of Indiana. So just give you an update of, if you've seen it in Facebook or whatever, that the cops are all out. Reading School, speed limit drops down to 25 there for the school zone from 45 while school's in session. So they went out there and worked that pretty heavily. So.
And this was complaints by citizens?
Citizens complaints, school complaints that people cross that hill just flying. So we just sent officers out there to do that, try to get them to slow down. So
I'm going to set the record straight on one piece of that, just so it's public knowledge. When we write a ticket as a Seymour police officer, it is written under IC code.
Yes.
Thus, Darren does not get to collect the penalty from that ticket, the fine. So every time you hear somebody proudly tell you that Seymour is just trying to make a buck on writing traffic tickets, it don't work that way.
I will tell you, for ticket purposes, usually the actual ticket, we get like $1 to pay for our administrative costs per ticket. The rest of the money for a ticket fine actually goes to the Indiana Law Enforcement Academy to fund the academy. So, yeah, we don't make any money on tickets. It's actually the court makes more money because it's court fees that pay a lot. But
you
a
do
lot
get
of
reimbursed overtime.
That's a whole separate program. Yeah. So the state we submit an application, they approved it, and they authorized to pay the overtime for the officers to work that project. But like the mayor said, the tickets, it's like $1. is for the actual paying of the tickets. You know, the actual, our administrative costs. So the rest of it, mainly on a ticket, if you get 150, a lot of that is court cost. It's not the actual fine. The fine's usually $5 to $10.
Is that statewide?
It pretty much statewide. Yeah, it just depends on what court you're in of what but they have, the court fees are the majority of a ticket.
Thanks, Greg. Any other miscellaneous from the audience? Going once, going twice?
Before I get there, we're done.
Motion to adjourn.
I do have a motion on the floor now.
I just come to you for information. This is it. The city has a grease trap ordinance that's on the books. Any restaurant in Seymour that prepares food certain ways has to have a grease trap to keep grease out of our sewers. In consideration with these food trucks, a food truck does not have a grease trap in it whatsoever. They have, normally a food truck has what's called a commissary kitchen. And if you go through the health department, you can look at the addresses for commissary kitchens. They could be in your neighborhood, they could be in your neighborhood, wherever. And what they do, they pull up to the clean out on this.
I think the building commissioner disagrees, but go ahead.
But anyhow, they can pull up, drain their gray water tank on the food truck. We have a couple food trucks that are permanently located in town. I know one's hooked direct to the sewer of one building that don't have a grease trap. As a matter of fact, I got a call from the guy that owns the building and asked. So just when you guys, that may be something, an ordinance we need to inspect on or review and require these. And I know the ordinance for a building is 1,000 gallon minimum, 2,000 gallon maximum. Food trucks, you're not going to get that big of a thing. It may be such thing as a under the counter grease trap. They sell them, they make them, and they just got to be cleaned more often. So when we do food trucks in the coming years or whatever, we may try to change that to where they have a grease trap underneath someplace on the truck. So just food for thought. Been talking with the health department on it and stuff. So
Okay. I'll try to ad lib Jeremy's head shake behind you there because I don't believe commissary kitchens can be located just anywhere anymore. Did I say it close enough for you?
Chris is she can tell everybody where they're allowed.
Oh yeah, you had to be in all that, didn't you?
Yeah, there is a city code that restricts certain home-based businesses, barbers, hair salons, and food service are specifically prohibited as being home-based businesses. I can't remember the exact code number, but there were, any other sort of service that requires health department inspection and approval can't be conducted in a home-based business. So that's why Jeremy was over there doing this.
there you go.
You can watch it in the video later. Anybody else?
That no.
I can't see anything but the podium, so I didn't know that.
Last chance. I already have a motion to adjourn.
I'll redo
So
it.
moved. Meeting adjourned. Thank you all.